Hey, so welcome to Field Report episode. Whenever I publish this, you'll see the number. So I been wanting to make a video on email, and email is a very interesting thing. So obviously now with contact getting the notoriety it is, a lot of companies have been formed to build software, and most of these new applications, whether desktop or mobile based, or even based in another reality, have some form of internal chat. Now, the caveat is, I'm I'm confident in sticking my neck out there and saying almost all of them have a default mode that sends you an email about a notification. Again, reinforcing the fact that email is still a crux and a kingpin of construction. And I don't think really there has been something out there that has threatened the domination of email. And email dominates from emailing executives at a company to emailing foremen and superintendents, in my experience. I can't speak for everybody. And I wanted to kind of go through one of the challenges that I have currently. I have not successfully solved yet, but it's something that I have spent way too much time thinking about because any person knows we spend a lot of time in email, and everybody does it, and we all know it's inefficient, yet everybody does it. And obviously I'm not going to pull up my personal email for work because that's opening up too many can of worms, but I know what my general folder structure is inside of my email, and I typed it up here, and we can kind of go through it. And I'll kind of then poke holes in what the flaws are in my system and what I have thought about and what maybe what you think about after watching this video. And I'd love to hear from you, and maybe we can come up with some better solution together. So here's the general inbox, like with drafts and sent and all that crap. Within the inbox, I usually have the project name, whatever the project name is. Then we start getting to all these parent-child relationships. So I usually have a folder for the architect and engineer. Obviously, on most construction projects, there's multiple architects and engineers, and then one for the owner, one when ASI or drawing updates come out, one on contacts, probably some IT stuff like software gets set up or things of that nature. Usually, especially when everyone has their own project management tool, like uploading things to the architect to the engineers thing. Field issues, meeting minutes, RFIs, outbound, inbound. Most project management tools, when you successfully upload or download something or get sent something, they send you like one of those generic like emails like you got mail. So I usually file those, schedule updates, and then we get into like all of the subs. So then you have the sub name and then action items, which in my experience have been like pre-punch list, just things that the design team notices during the project that they don't want to wait to put on the punch list. Change orders, field coordination, RFIs. Then within RFIs you have the number and then obviously the title, and then this obviously increases on a project, and then submittals, and likewise this obviously increases on a project, and then obviously the subcategory gets duplicated 20 to 40 times as a GC. Obviously, if you're a specialty contractor or a subcontractor, yours might be a little bit different. But here's some of the issues with this. One, obviously I missed like contract or like purchase orders. And the flaw with this system is this. Sub 1 generates an issue. It goes into field coordination, you get a new topic, let's say like steam piping. And you have some emails with the PM, or the foreman or whoever, you drag them into steam piping, and then it generates an RFI. So now this is going to be RFI 005, and we have steam piping in room. So you generate this RFI about steam piping in room, and that goes back, and then you get an email and drag it here into inbound or outbound, and you spend some time, blah, blah, blah. An email comes in, you get an email, you drag that in inbound, you distribute it out, send it back. Architect and engineer, maybe few days later, they issue a new ASI with drawing updates. You put that in there, send those out. Then, as part of the ASI drawing updates, you change rooms, or they change walls around or move ducts around that affect another subcontractor. And here's where the system really falls apart quickly. All right, so this was all generated from this steam piping room. But now you have emails related to this initial problem in multiple locations. So you have RFIs in here, like the generic, templates of when you upload or download things. You have a drawing update that's in here. You have an email that went out to other contractors with, it's like, hey, this water pipe has to move and this wall has to move. Caveat, side note, this is a hypothetical example. This is a little bit extreme, but I'm trying to get across. This is very typical, and I wish I could show you my email, but I don't think the IT department's going to like that, and I'll take a lot of flack. So, now you have a contractor that emails you back, that's like, this is going to cost me this, and this is going to be, this is going to cost me this is going to cost me that. But you go then to, now where do you file that? Do you file that in here under steam piping room? Or file that under here under field coordination and steam piping? Or do you file that under, let me copy this down just so we have it. Sub 2, skipping a bunch of stuff just to get to the folder that we need. Where do you file that as? Do you file another steam piping one here? Is that what you do? Or do you call it, like, let's say in room is in, it's room HG-005 wall. And this is where it gets a little hectic, is like this field coordination, how specific do you get? Because a lot of these are like one pipe in one room. Or do you just generically call it the room? Or do you just generically call it first floor piping? Or what do you do? Because and I've learned this from experience, there's a very fine line between too generic and too specific. If you're too generic, you have a lot of shit. Probably shouldn't swear, but you have a lot of stuff. You have a lot of stuff in one folder with kind of stuff that's related, but it's kind of not related, and email's a pain in the frickin' butt to sort through. A pain in the absolute ass. Or, on the other hand, you're too specific, and then you're, instead of having trouble sorting through so much data, you have trouble finding the right folder to sort through. So this is kind of where you can start to see the system really starts to unravel, because now you have a PCO that comes out because of this change. So you're gonna put that in here. It's gonna be number, whatever it is. This was because ASI 5. They got a change order. Well, this ASI 5 is related to this, which related to the R5 up here, which related to drawing changes up here, which then created problems for the other subcontractor down here, and this whole situation just explodes. And I don't quite have a solution worked out yet, but as you can see, that is kind of one of the issues. And some of the things I've been thinking about is writing a plugin into Outlook. Excuse me, like writing a plugin into Outlook that kind of helps organize things. I know the Google AI that's been inside of Gmail has been pretty interesting. So I've been looking at that, or just contemplating that. I shouldn't say I've done anything besides think. And then also having some other folder structure, like a Trello type of deal, to help organize. Because I don't have this fully cracked yet, but this is just like the scratch of the surface for it. I definitely think AI will address this a lot. Link might address this. I haven't had a chance to test it out yet, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'll make a video of it. And yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think. This isn't me coming to you with a solution that I worked up with. This is me coming to you guys with a problem that I'm facing, and it's probably one that you faced, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and what we can come up with together, and maybe, I don't know, we can crowdsource our own project. That sounds like a very, very good idea. So look forward to hearing from you guys, and until next time, stay dorky.